What is up? Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful day. Back with some more Resident Evil 3 Remake gameplay for you. And today I'm going to be discussing something that I've been pondering about when I was going to make an actual video to talk about this. I've just been waiting for the right time to do it. And it's not like something really major happened that forced me into talking about this. More like the old adage goes, the straw that broke the camel's back basically prompted me to finally make this video. Now, one thing I want to state very clearly is that I'm a huge Resident Evil fan. If you haven't already figured it out, I love the franchise. There are things I don't personally care about, but there are a lot of things I do like. The positives are a lot more than the negatives, you know. So I'm a huge fan. I've been around this franchise for, I'd say, just about 2 decades at this point. But if there is one thing I do not like about the Resident Evil franchise, and it's easily the worst part about the franchise, is not the actual franchise, the games themselves. It's unfortunately the fan base, the community themselves. Because I will say this right now, I think the Resident Evil community fan base absolutely sucks. I think it is just absolutely terrible and garbage in so many ways. That doesn't mean I think everyone is, because I'll get to that eventually, but I guess I'll say the ones you hear all the time on the internet, all the internet people, I think the vast majority of them are absolutely terrible. And I don't mean terrible in the way you might think, oh, well, I guess their takes are bad. It's not about their takes or which side they're on, because I want to stress that here right now. It's not about what their opinion is, what type of games they go about, or what games they like, what characters they like, etc., etc. The problem with this fan base, and I'll say this right now, they have got to be the most oversensitive, butthurt, triggered fan base I've ever seen, maybe in anything. I know someone's going to say, hey, you've never been a part of this fan. And listen, I can only speak on the fan bases I've been in, okay? And I get it. There's probably a little bit of this in every fan base, but I can only speak on the ones I'm heavily involved in, and Resident Evil is definitely one I'm heavily involved in. And I will say this right now, it does not take much to get people to lose their shit in this fan base. I mean, all you have to do is go online and simply say something as simply as, what's your favorite game in the franchise? Who's your favorite character in the franchise? What perspective of the camera do you like? And you have already got people basically searching you up, searching every post you got, searching everything in your bio, your file, and basically trying to hunt you down over something as simple as that. So God forbid if you actually do something really, really delve them deeper into the franchise in terms of something you like or dislike, because you're basically going to get hunted down and mauled. And it's the thing I cannot stand about this franchise is that. So what prompted me to make this video, the straw that broke the camel's back, was somebody online posted, it didn't matter who, but they posted this post online basically talking about the game we're watching right now, Resident Evil 3 Remake, which has gone through enough in the last few years at this point. In fact, I'm getting sick and tired of this whole just endless cycle of it in terms of what I'm about to get to in a moment. But basically they made a post saying how, while it may not be the greatest of the remakes, obviously, it is not a bad game. And I 100% agree with that. I don't have a problem with this game as a game itself. It's a solid, enjoyable game. You can easily pick it up and play it, etc., etc. Yes, could it have been better in a lot of ways? Absolutely. I'm not going to get into that because that's not the important part. But yeah, it's not the greatest of the remakes. A lot of people point it as the last of the remakes, but regardless of where you feel, you get the point. I don't think there's anything asinine about that. But even if you don't agree with that, which is fine, that's not the problem. And that's what I want to stress here. It's not the problem that you don't agree with it. And it's not the problem that you do agree with it. The problem is, and this is the most important part of this video, it's how you go about it. If you have to lose your mind, lose your shit, and just go in an absolute rage to prove your point, and I guess your point wasn't that important in the first place, because if you're losing your mind over just a video game in terms of what you agree or disagree with it about a take, then maybe you really weren't that right in the first place, because I'll say what I have to say and then I'll move on. But that's the key problem with this fan base, is that they cannot move on. It's like they are so stuck in their own ways, and if you don't agree with that person, or they don't agree with you about something 100%, it's like it triggers. I don't know if it's like some mentality in them. It's like it triggers something in them. Like there's something wrong with you. You didn't agree with my take, so we have to investigate you. We basically have to do a profiling of you. And these people, they will search up everything you liked, you have posted, your dialogue, and they have this obsession over you. And I'm just thinking, like, what is this? And the thing is, it's like, what I find funny, I've made mention of this before in the past about when I was talking about, what makes a real fan, is that it's funny how these people are always searching for a fight. Like, it's not even, I don't even think they really enjoy the franchise. It's just they enjoy fighting everybody in the franchise. It's like they want to fight and die on every single hill. So as soon as you post something that they don't agree with, it's like there's some mechanism built in their brain that triggers them, where as soon as you post it, they're already on top of it within a few seconds, and they've already got a whole 20-page paragraph of why you're the problem, you're the reason why the franchise is dead, and X, Y, and Z, and you're just like, you haven't even had time to pass gas, so you realize, like, wait, what? Like, what just happened? Like, and then they'll keep doing that to every single person. It's like they have to find every single person that doesn't agree with them, and they have to basically go in a rage mode, and then the funniest part is they expect you to continue the fight, and they want you to reply in some like 20-page essay about why you think the way it is, because you have to justify your. It's like, I don't have to justify anything. I like what I like. I don't like what I don't like. It's as simple as that. I may give a reason or two, but I'm not going to fight you over it because it's not that big of a deal. I'm not losing my mind. I'm not some 5-year-old who was told he couldn't play with their toys or something. It's just like, move on. Like, are there takes I see all the time that I don't personally like or agree with? Yes, but I'm not fighting everybody. I don't have the energy to fight everybody on this. And not to mention, these actions, they just don't seem human to me. They seem like so inhuman, devoid of any like human emotion. That's why I wonder if they're not even human at all. They're like bots or AI or something. I guess Skynet is confirmed, unfortunately. But, I mean, these people, they are all over this stuff, no matter what it is. And they will just, as I said, it's amazing. And I always say about these people is like, when they get so enraged about it, I'm always thinking, okay, you obviously have a lot of energy. I don't know where you get this energy from. I always question, do these people like have jobs? Do they have families? Do they have any responsibilities outside of playing or talking about this game they're all over the place with? Because if they had that energy, use it to something more useful. I mean, they could be absolutely badass in life if they used it with that type of energy. I mean, I just don't. I mean, I'm just getting older, but a lot of times I don't even have the I guess energy to play the games, let alone half the time, on top of just playing and getting into a heated debate with every single random person online that doesn't agree with me. And as I said, there's nothing wrong with having necessarily a debate or discussion, and there's nothing wrong with not agreeing with somebody about something and having different takes on stuff and liking things that maybe some people didn't, and vice versa. I just don't understand why everybody's got to have this die on every hill mentality. Like, everybody wants to die on every hill about everything in this community. It doesn't matter what it is. I mean, guys, you can't fight every driver to pass you by on the highway. You can't pick a fight with every person that cuts you off in line. You can't beat up every person that maybe wrongs you in life. And you can't die on every single hill. You just can't. Get over it. Move on. Like, vice versa. Example for me, like, I love Resident Evil 4 OG. It's my all-time favorite video game, all-time favorite Resident Evil game. You don't think I see takes all the time where people say it's the worst game ever, it killed the franchise, if you like it, you're not a true Resident Evil fan, you're X, Y, and Z, blah, blah, blah. You don't think I see it all the time? I do. You know what I do? I look at it, move on. I'm not in that mindset, oh, they said something bad about my favorite game, I gotta fight them, I gotta combat them. No, why am I gonna waste so much energy for something so useless? Because what am I getting out of it? I'm gonna get a bunch of stress, a bunch of BS. Who knows what's gonna come out. I get a bunch of like endless drama. They may respond. May get more people respond, and it's just like I gain nothing. Well, I gained a bunch of BS, I guess, and a headache, but I didn't get anything of value out of that. It just wasted my time. Move on. I don't get this whole thing where, and then you get the people who are like, well, we have to combat these people because they're ruining the franchise. And I'm just like, guys, it's not that big of a deal. Like, if you don't like something in the franchise, that's fine, but you're not going to change a bunch of people in the franchise. Like, for how often, like, if you could change one person's opinion on the franchise, how many people's opinion would you have to change to really make an impact, a dent? And how often would you have to fight in order to do that? My point being, you're not going to change hardly anybody's opinion. Just understand what you like, respect what you like, and go about it. You can have a conversation about things you like, things you disagree with, but you're not going to fight people, insult them, and then beat them up online, and then be like, oh, well, they're just going to change their ways and believe what I believe. It doesn't work that way. Because, it wouldn't happen with you, vice versa. What makes you think is going to happen in your favor? Like, it's just, I don't got time. I got more important things to do. Like, play the games and enjoy them. And if I don't enjoy them, don't play the games. Like, I don't got time to have this endless drama fest. And that's all it is, endless drama and BS. It seems like these people just want to have nonstop fights and actually talk about the things they do like. And that's the funniest part. I wonder if these people honestly do like the franchise as much as they claim they do. But I just think they just like the whole thrill of starting a bunch of crap and having a bunch of people screaming and yelling. And it's like we get enough of that on the internet as it is. I just miss the days where we had more people that posted cool things, like interesting things. Not a bunch of people saying, oh, this is why this part of the fandom sucks. It's why the new fans suck because they ruin everything. They don't question everything. Or this is why the old fans suck because they just live in their own ways and don't care about things changing from being the same thing every day. Or this is why X, Y, and Z. Or, if you've been a part of the fandom, you know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. But I want to stress this. It's not the entire fandom, obviously. There are cool people in the fandom. It's unfortunate we don't hear about them as much. But there's a lot of cool people over on social media. There's ResidentEvil, always giving these unique, interesting tidbits, it seems like every day, daily, about things. A lot of things I never even guessed or surmised. But just interesting facts I like to hear about. Stuff that's cool and interesting, not just drama-filled, invested BS. But I like hearing that. You got Jill Valenfield, 96, talking about her passion of the character Jill Valentine, as well as other things in the Resident Evil franchise, just cool things. And then over here on YouTube, I want to give a cool shout out to, I'm eventually going to get through all your videos. I've watched a few of them, but the Bengal Dragon has a lot of cool takes on Code Veronica, as well as the character of Claire Redfield. I definitely highly suggest you check all these people out. I'll leave links in the description if you want to check them out themselves. But the point I'm trying to make here is that just people giving interesting takes on things within the franchise. And while I may not necessarily always 100% agree with everything, the thing is, and this is the difference, and this is the part I'm trying to get to, is that these three people, as well as some other cool people, no matter what their takes are or what they say, they all have something in common. Is that when you listen to them, regardless if you necessarily agree with everything or not, you at least know that they respect you enough to know that, hey, we can have these takes, we can talk about things, and we can be civil about it. We can enjoy talking about a franchise we deeply love and have that enjoyment. Regardless if we do have different tastes and stuff or different beliefs and stuff, we're not insulting you to the point where we're basically having a screaming, yelling fest like a bunch of 5-year-olds who, as I said, couldn't play with all their toys or something. We're not losing our mind. We're acting like adults, civil people. And when you're around civil people and you have a franchise you love, it's cool moments. And I love having moments like that where we can talk about things, theorize about stuff, and have a good time and enjoy stuff. I like hearing stuff like that. But unfortunately, and this might be the most insulting thing I'm going to say about the community, the Resident Evil community reminds me a lot like gaming journalists. You get a few really good journalists. There are good journalists in gaming, guys. They are. I know it's hard to believe, but there are some really good gaming journalists that have great takes and they do their job and they respect what they are reporting on. And they respect you, the people reading it. Unfortunately, they're completely overshadowed by all the idiotic, terrible ones that basically make you just roll your eyes and wonder, what the hell did I just read? My point being, there's a lot of cool people in this community, but unfortunately they get drowned out by all the dumb ones who just, they ruin it for everybody. They can't accept the fact that people are different. People have different tastes, differences, and opinion. And they'll claim, this is why the franchise is dead. This is why you guys aren't real fans. You're fake. This is why X, Y, Z, whatever the reason may be. And you just basically keep bashing your head against the wall and thinking, what the hell did I do to deserve all this crap? And it's just kind of funny because I've always heard this so many times. Oh, the franchise is dead. The franchise is dead. It doesn't know what it's doing. The franchise is dead. But the funniest part about all these people, they all have the same problem. They talk about this dead franchise 24/7. That's the part I've never understood, and it's always kind of baffled me. Is if a franchise was dead, okay. If I was in that position, I thought a franchise was dead. You know what I'd do? I'd just be like, okay, I'll move on. Move on. Do an adult decision. Move on. Go somewhere else. Not the Resident Evil community. You'll hear these people talking about, oh, your reason why you run the franchise is why it's dead. And then they'll say the same thing the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next week, and the next week, and the next month, and the next month, and the next year, and next year, and next decade. You got some people that have been here for 2+ decades talking about how the franchise is dead, and it's basically like an everyday phenomenon for them. It's like every single day they got to say the same exact thing. I'm thinking, do you ever get tired of that? Like, where's the joy of that? Where is the, mentally... You have to wonder what these people are like in real life. I just imagine that every single day you basically are talking about how you don't like this, you don't like that, which is fine, but you do it day in, day out, day in, day out. What's Vash said in Far Cry 3? What's the definition of insanity? Well, he wasn't lying, man. He definitely was not lying because, man, it makes me wonder. Like, if I was that disliked of something, I would just... go to something I like, but no, it's like the exact opposite. That's the funniest part. They talk about the franchise more than the people actually claim to like it. I mean, I like Resident Evil, and these people, they talk about it more than me. It just makes me just wonder that part of the psyche. The human psyche is a fascinating thing, and I guess the less I know, the better, because I don't think I'll ever understand. But bottom line is this, guys. Resident Evil franchise has been around for over a quarter century, okay? We've had all kinds of different games with different characters, with different perspectives, with different camera angles, with different remakes, with different, varieties of the genre and the franchise. Just so many different ways they've done Resident Evil. I'm blessed to be a part of the franchise. Well, the good and the bad. I take them both, and, I like what I like. I don't like what I don't like. But I've never gotten to that point in my entire life where I felt like there was a take so god-awful bad that I felt like I had to search the person out and just completely, go after them, bash them, and just hunt them down and claim they're the reason XYZ, this whole thing is ruined. And I'm just like, let people think what they think. It's not a big deal. If you're that angry and triggered by someone else, then maybe you didn't believe what you thought you believed as strongly as you did. Because I don't need other people's validation to validate myself. I have self-validation. But I just need this community. And I think some people are starting to wake up a little bit. But I just need the community to just have more people to just, have a more positive mindset. Want to do cooler things. Not just stupid things in a community where they just want to fight and attack everybody in there. Because it just gets tiresome. You know the old adage, beat a dead horse. Well, let me tell you something, man. That horse is beaten in the ground so much that if you didn't know it was a horse in the first place, you would think I'm lying, because this is basically mush, at this point. And that's all they want to do. And with Resident Evil 3 Remake, game came out almost 4 years ago, and we still haven't gotten over it. It's just like we still are getting triggered about it on both sides. Once again, it's not a matter of where you stand. We're still upset when anyone makes any type of take on it. We're still just acting like we just cannot get over it. It's like, move on. All right, we've said what we said. Move on. There's no reason to be getting this upset after this long. Like, it's just, relieve that constipation out of you and just move on. It's not the end of the world. You know, it's not your job security. It's not health insurance. It's not your family dying. It's not that big of a deal. We've got to get over this obsession over these franchises. I think that's something that's plagued a lot of franchises, that we have these people that are so obsessed with these franchises that I feel like they take them more serious than their own, their own life, their own family, and their own friends and stuff like that. And it's just like, relax. It ain't that big of a deal. Like, you said your piece. You like it, you dislike it, move on. But we just can't move on. We're still stuck in our own ways, and that's just with this thing. Because, I mean, what's going to be the next thing we get mad at in this franchise? And I just wish there was just more positivity. I'm not saying that everything has to be good, because we can have disagreements of things we don't like. But I just wish there was more positivity in terms of just respecting other people and letting other people believe what they want to believe, and then just stop going after no matter what it is. Just like, someone says a take, you say you agree, you disagree, and you move on. And that's what I said, the key part, moving on. But unfortunately, with this franchise and this fan base, it's like nobody can move on. It's just, they keep coming back to it, and they keep wanting to fight everyone on that. I just hope one day that less of the whole fighting everybody and just more of the accepting everybody's different. And I like the differences. I like hearing different things. But who knows? Maybe one day. I like to be optimistic. I don't like to be all depressing and stuff. So, but that was my opinion. I want to hear your guys' opinion. What do you feel about the state of the Resident Evil fandom? Are you someone who's just like, maybe you're newer to the fandom, maybe you're an older person to the fandom? Do you just get annoyed by all the constant people that want to rip each other to shreds, no matter what they believe in, just want to just rip people in half, no matter what it is about, and just take things way too serious and just need to, I don't know, take a deep breath and relax and, enjoy life more? Let me know down in the comment section down below, but I'm more interested to hear your guys' takes on this. But that is going to be it. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video, and hopefully I can see you guys back on the next one. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope to hear from you guys later. Peace.
Once and for all.